Okay, so the soul is the person that can be shaped by human experience. So like if you were to like run a simulation of like Cliffe, 100 simulations of the life of Cliffe in some future distant world, do you become a pastor in all 100 of those simulations? Is every one of those simulations, is Cliffe a good guy? Especially if the human experience that each Cliffe experience or goes through is different. And then does your soul become a different thing? And then also I ask myself like, okay, what is the soul? Because you're saying it's shaped by human experience, but like, what about like a baby or like a child? Like say a child passes away and they're like, essentially a blank canvas. What happens to that soul? What if that human hasn't accepted Jesus because he's 4?
Well, that's why they baptize babies, right?
Well, I'm convinced, though, that babies who die are going to be in heaven because of the way Jesus treated children. He said, let the little children come to me, for to such belongs the kingdom of heaven. So God is a compassionate God, and obviously a baby has not sinned. They've not rebelled against God, so I think they're going to be in heaven. But I think you raise a great question when it comes to, Cliffe, if there were 100 different scenarios over the next 1,000 years of you, would you always become a minister? I don't think so, because that smacks of determinism. It's in the stars. It's written in the stars. You have to do this. You have to go down this path. No. When I fall down a set of stairs, I don't pick myself up at the bottom and say, phew, glad that's over. No, I pick myself up at the bottom and say, idiot, pick up your feet. Don't stumble down the stairs. It's really painful. In other words, it's not been predetermined. That's this whole issue of free will. That's why I hold you responsible and you hold me responsible for what I do, for what I say, because I don't have to do it.
It's not a script.
Exactly. It's not a script. This whole idea that God writes on a piece of paper, which you and I are going to do tomorrow, locks it in a bank vault, and then you and I have to do what's written on the paper. That's determinism. That's fatalism. No. No, we're human beings created in the image of God, which means God partially limits his power by giving us a free will, and then we choose what we do. But God does hold us responsible, and that's why I love what you pointed out about the importance of responsibility. But Logan, you and Jesus are, I think, a little closer than you might realize when you talk about justice.
That's going to get clipped up, man.
Okay?
That was
justice.
That's going everywhere.
The reason is, why did Christ die on a cross? He didn't die on a cross because God is lovey-dovey. He died on a cross because God is just. And because God is just, the penalty for evil is death and hell. And Christ went to the cross, paid that penalty. Why? Because God's lovey-dovey? No, because God is just. The penalty for human evil must be paid. Oh, that's not cool. That's not cool. Oh, that's very cool. I understand you're an expectant father. Little baby coming into the world?
Little baby girl.
Your mom was bragging to me about it.
Yeah. Little baby girl.
Sounds good.
Yep.
All right, Logan. Now let's talk theoretically.
Okay.
Let's say somebody murders that little baby.
God damn it, Cliffe.
Didn't even get a chance to do anything. Didn't even make one video.
Good response, Logan.
Horrific. I wasn't expecting this. Cliffe,
All right.
come on, dude.
Good response.
Yo, that's the hook.
Sorry, Grandma.
Yo, sorry, Ma.
Ex-grandma.
She didn't make it.
Damn, dude.
Okay, I love your response. Why? Because you know very well that if the police or the judge lets that dude off scot-free, your baby does not matter. Now, what's fascinating is the way so many secular people will say, well, God's just love, so there's going to be no judgment. Really? So God doesn't judge the guy who murders my child? That's a clear statement on God's part. Your child, Cliffe, does not matter to me. Therefore, I will not judge the guy who murdered your kid. Well, let's get one thing straight. God doesn't care about your kid. Your kid does not matter to God. And that's a lie. Jesus said, no, God does care about every single one of us, which is why when we hurt each other, when we rape each other, when we cut each other off at the knees, God will judge us for that because he loves us because we matter to him.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.